She's a national campaigns coordinator in a Swedish organization, Djurens Rätt, and she's going to talk about her organization's broiler awareness campaign. No? Yes? Is it low? Is this better? Yeah. Okay, so hi everyone, and thank you for joining my talk today. My name is Linn Bleckert, and I work as a campaigns coordinator at Djurens Rätt. And my speech today is called "Do you like chicken or chickens?" And I will start by doing a spoiler. So this is an actual ad, just that came up before in this summer, and it is from the inside of a Swedish metro station from the fast food chain Burger King. And on the left side it says, "If you like chicken," and on the right side it says, "If you like chickens." And we didn't quite believe what we saw when this ad came up. Are they actually acknowledging the fact that chickens are animals and not just a product that they put in their burgers? And they are using the rhetorics that we have been using for ages. So how did this happen? Yes. So I will wind back the clock at 137 years, just to give you a quick background about who we are as an organization. So we were founded in 1882, or actually we weren't called Djurens Rätt back then, but this very short and catchy name. And I won't try to translate it, but Google did that for me, and it means Nordic Society to Combat Scientific Animal Cruelty. And since then, we haven't only changed our names, the name of our organization a few times. We are today the largest animal rights organization in Sweden, with about 45,000 members and over 500,000 followers in social media. We started by working against the use of animals in scientific research. And since then, we have broadened our perspective and now work also for the animals who are used for foods and used for clothing. And in my talk today, I will focus on the animals who are used for foods, and more specifically about broilers. And even more specifically about how we have been working for the last 1.5 years to change the increased consumption of chicken in Sweden. So why broilers? The short answer is, they are the most, and they are treated the worst. So by changing the way the chickens are treated and the quantity in which they are bred, we can reduce as much suffering as possible to as many individuals as possible with the few resources that we have. And as many of you already know, billions of broiler chickens are bred each year all over the world, and Sweden is not an exception. Sweden has about 10 million citizens, and each year over 99 million broiler chickens are killed. That means that 3 chickens are killed every second, all day, all night. Considering all land-living animals, chickens make up to 94% of those who are killed each year. In only 35 days, they go from this to this and to this. They are kept inside in groups of 10,000 individuals. They have nowhere to hide, they are bored, it is crowded, and they literally live shitty lives since the farm floors aren't clean until they all are brought to slaughter after 5 weeks. So what has to change the life of the millions of these broilers? Well, first we have to reduce the chicken consumption and production, so fewer amounts of animals are being born into this industry. But we also have to make sure that the welfare improves. And since there are so many individuals affected by the chicken industry, Even small changes in both the consumption and the welfare will make huge difference for a lot of animals. Of course, we had some challenges facing the change of this industry. Chicken meat is considered quite cheap, so it's more difficult to perhaps change the eating habits of people who are buying this, because sometimes substitutes can be more expensive. Chicken meat is also seen as quite climate friendly, so people who want to make a stand and reduce their global footprint, they go from eating perhaps red meat to eating chicken meat instead, while we would like them going straight to the vegetarian green option. So that is definitely a challenge. And also chicken meat is considered quite healthy with a low fat and high protein. So that's a challenge as well. And last but not least, in Sweden, and I suppose in other countries as well, the chicken industry says that as long as you buy the Swedish chicken meat, it's okay, because we have the best welfare laws and it's locally produced and it's fine, you don't have to feel guilty about it. So we have to change that image in order to reduce the chicken production and consumption in Sweden. We had gotten this footage showing things that we already knew, but we have really good images of it. Seeing how crowded the chicken lives, how badly they are treated. There were chickens who are dead and sick and have neck pain and wing pain. And we had to get this material out for people to see. So we launched our campaign, 99 miljoner, which means 99 million. And that's the number of chickens being killed each year in Sweden for meat. So I will go through the campaign, the timeline. So we launched the campaign in March last year with a campaign website and a petition aimed at the Swedish Poultry Association, demanding them to take action against what was seen in these pictures, to change. So it's not supposed to look like this. We demand them to take action. And we also did a huge advertising week, the first week of the campaign, where we had full pages of this material in the daily newspapers, and both local and national, for the whole week. And we also did advertising in the trams. So on the left picture here, it says between this tram stop and this tram stop, this amount of chickens are killed, just to raise awareness and make people think about how many of these are killed each minute. We also had some media coverage at the campaign launch, both articles about the footage and the campaign, and we had some debate articles. And we have tried to before this campaign, to have a dialogue with the Swedish Poultry Association, but they won't talk to us. So a lot of communication with them have been through debate articles in newspapers and also through social media. So over the year, of course, we have been using our social media channels to get this footage out and to engage people in this campaign and to make them sign a petition and raise the awareness on the question. And as I said, we haven't really had a great talk with the chicken industry, but when in last summer they launched their own little digital social media campaign, which is shown with that says Myth 1, and they sell a chicken, one of the largest chicken retailers, and they announced that they were going to do like a mythbuster thing on their social media channel. They were going to post 10 different myths about chicken and then explain why it's not true. So for every post they made, we replied in our own Instagram channel, and of course doing the real myth busting, telling them how it really is. People were really upset and went to their social media channel just posting all this negativity around the chicken industry. So I think they got to posting 7 myths, and then they just ghosted the campaign because it didn't get quite the effect they hoped for. During the summer, we had kind of a fundraising part of the campaign called Adopt a Chicken, where we had these 99 key rings, these plush key rings, that we gave 99 unique names. So they got a name each. And you could support the campaign by adopting a chicken for like a bit higher of amount than you would just buy a keyring for, of course. And they got this little letter sent with the keyring saying that, "Hi, my name is this one is Eli, and thank you for helping my friends in the chicken industry, and a lot of the chickens don't have names like me and my friends do, and thank you for supporting the campaign." And the pictures on the right is that we got through Instagram, one of the chickens being out on a trip, and they mentioned us, and here I think it's the chicken called Signe, who's in Denmark on a trip. So it was a really nice way to engage with the supporters and to just have a positive vibe through the campaign that is quite it's quite sad with all the misery going on, and this was sending some hope, and it was really cute. Also during the campaign year, we did on-the-ground action through our local groups around Sweden, and we have more of that going on as I speak. I will talk about that soon. But they obviously showed the footage and also had a petition to collect names and just talk to people doing just regular outreach, like street actions. And after summer, we did another round of this advertising in the magazines, the newspapers, and it was interesting to see the effect that the campaign had because some of the newspapers that had our ads the last time, they didn't want to take them in this time because they had gotten quite some bad response from perhaps other advertisers that wasn't too keen on our campaign. So it's a shame that we couldn't get some of the photos out, but also it was a good proof that the campaign had done this effect on the readers and on the other companies advertising to sell more chicken. And last but not least, in last year we had a crowdfunding to support a TV commercial that we wanted to get out. And so the crowdfunding was in 4 weeks, and we had to go to fund 500,000 Swedish kroner, which is maybe 50,000 euro. And only in the first 24 hours we got 100,000 Swedish kroner. So it was involving a lot of engaging a lot of people, and it was the first time we had done this type of crowdfunding, as we were very curious how this would be received. And it involved a lot of people supporting the campaign through the crowdfunding in Facebook and also in our own website. So after the crowdfunding, we had the TV commercial for another 4 weeks. And TV time is very expensive, so we had this 15-second long TV commercial showing the footage from the crowded chicken farms, and they couldn't show the worst images, of course, because we also don't want to do that because we don't want people to just shut down the TV. And the woman you see on the picture there is one of Sweden's biggest YouTubers and influencers, who is also an animal rights advocate and a vegan. So she did the voiceover for the movie to support the campaign. And it was showed to 2 million viewers all over Sweden, in total 7 million views. So it means that 1 in every 5 Swedes saw this this TV commercial. And what was interesting was that we were able to reach out with these videos outside of our own channels, because of course we have a lot of reach through Facebook with these videos, but now we were able to show the videos just straight into people's houses and make them see this material that maybe they have never even thought about, that this is how it can actually look in Sweden, because you have this image of, as long as it's in Sweden, it's like this cute little farms, which is not the case. So we had not a full year of campaigning, but from March until the end of the year. And we were, of course, very excited to see what has changed during the year. And after a few months of waiting, we got all the final numbers from the chicken consumption and the production. And I will start by just going through those numbers. So these were the things we wanted to change through this campaign year. So this is the official stats from the Swedish Agriculture Board of Agriculture. Thank you. From the last 30 years of chicken consumption and production and export and import and such. And we can focus on this blue line here, which shows the production. How many chickens are being born and killed for meat. And as you can see, it has been going up. And it's very straight going up for the last 8 years, something like that. And it stopped in 2017, that it leveled out. But at the after the year of 2018, it actually got down with 1.5%. So we were super excited about that. And then we can follow the yellow line here, which shows the consumption. And as you can see, that has been going up even more in the last 30 years, increased by 400%. And it also leveled out in 2017. And after 2018, it had reduced by 5%, which was more than we would even dreamed of getting these results, because we know how difficult it is to change this industry. And since they count chickens in weight, overweight, and we count them by the individuals that they are, recalculating this means that 6.4 million fewer chickens have been consumed by Swedes during this last year. Woo! So yeah, we were excited. So the consumption production went well, but looking at the welfare improvements, as I said, we have been trying to talk with this poultry association, and through the whole campaign they don't want to talk to us. They have responded to the campaign by saying that, well, this is just showing a regular Swedish chicken farm, animals die and get sick, and it's not a scandal or anything. And they don't see what should be changed or anything, so they can't take credit for doing any welfare improvements. What has been changing during the year is that we, parallel to working with this public campaigning, we have also been doing corporate outreach. And this is just a few of the brands who committed to the European Chicken Commitment in 2018 in Sweden. So they make a stand and say that we don't want to support this type of chicken industry, we want to see improvements. So that makes a positive view on this, that in the long run there will be welfare improvements, because consumers and corporations, they don't want to support this. So we just have to wait and see, and try to talk to this poultry association and make them understand that this is not okay. So we won't stop there, of course. The campaign is still going strong, and this is some of the things that we have been up to in 2019. So we did another round of advertising, but this time towards people traveling on Swedish high-speed trains. And as you can see through this campaign, we have been doing very wide communication, trying to just reach out to like the broad public outside of our own channels, just to get this footage out. But as you can see in this ad, we don't have any of the footage from the chicken industry. And it says, have you seen the most common bird in Sweden? And the obvious answer to that is no, because they are inside their whole lives and you don't see them. And on the ad on the picture to the right, you see our ad to the right, and on the left there is an ad from the main Swedish dairy company that usually use this type of images to show that the animal, like the animal agriculture in general, is very supportive of the nice Swedish landscape, and it's keeping the meadows open and nice. And maybe that relates to cows. Some of the cows are going outside, but regarding chickens, none of them are going outside, so you won't see a chicken during the whole of your training ride. And that was also shown by about 2 million views, or 2 million times. And later in the spring, we were on primetime national TV in a debate against a representative from the Swedish Trade Association. So we had a dialogue with them live on TV. And the reason to that is that have been brought up in the news that 1,800 birds every day come into the slaughterhouses with broken wings, which we had been posting the year before, and it was of course engaging people, but all of a sudden it was on national TV. It reached the national news, like media houses, and we were in a TV debate. Our representative Anna on the picture there, and they just had to reply to why this how can this happen, and they didn't have very good answers. So it was nice to finally talk to them. And our big, on-the-ground action is going on right now. So we have this thing that we call the summer tour, that we, every summer for the last 14 years, I think, have been going out to different festivals and events, talking to people about animal rights and our campaigns, and just meeting people in the streets for about 4 months. We involve around 100 volunteers, and we make about 100,000 interactions with people on this event. And this year, of course, we had the 99 million campaign with us. And this is some of the materials from the campaign in the summer tour. So we have like a vegan recipe folder, specifically about how to replace chicken. So it's a very positive recipe folder. We have the fake tattoos. This is "Friends Not Food" with the chicken symbol. And this picture over here shows 1 square meter sized mat to be a conversation starter and to make people visualize like how crowded it is, because in this space you're allowed to keep 25 broiler chickens. And also one of the main things that we have brought with us is this virtual reality experience, that we have a film that we were able to borrow from Animal Equality to make people see how it looks like in the chicken industry from the eyes of a chicken. A 4-minute long video that we have been taking with us to a lot of these stops, and that has been really a really emotional experience for a lot of people who have been watching this. And it's a way to really get into this situation and see how it actually is. And this is the stops we have been on this year with the summer tour. And as you can see, we're now in the middle of August. We have a few more places to go in August and September. And if you want, you can follow us on Instagram and see pictures from the different stops to get inspired and just follow the campaign. So, and now we are up to until today's date, and the campaign is of course to be continued during the rest of the year. And you can follow us and see what happens. So, to round things up, what have we learned during this campaign year? I have 3 things that we have specifically learned. So, don't focus on too many goals at the same time. When we started this campaign, we had a lot of different goals, and we wanted to achieve a lot of things with this material and this campaign and this topic. Maybe 10 different things that we were going to accomplish with this. There were some political goals, we had this public awareness goals and the corporate goals, and it was something that we had to change during the year and narrow it down and make sure that what is it we actually want to accomplish. And even the thing about affecting the production or the consumption, that's also 2 different things that we have been working back and forth to realize and have a straight goal on what we actually want to accomplish around these things. And we are still working with that and try to get as relevant goals as possible. And it's something that it's difficult. It's also been difficult to get the media attention around this topic. And maybe we were a bit naive when we started the campaign, that we saw this material and these images and felt that this is very extremely scandalous, all these images and how the chickens are being treated. And we got some media coverage in the beginning of the campaign, and also when this topic was up, like with the broken chicken wings were in TV. But it was difficult to keep the media interest as high as we wanted, and that is something we definitely will work on in the future and see how can we get this, what kind of twist do we have to take, and how can we be more creative and see how we can get more attention around the topic. And it is difficult to get the media attention perhaps because it is chickens. It is an animal that people don't feel very attached to and that you don't see outside, and it's not maybe too relevant, and that then we have to be there to make this show how relevant it actually is. And also we learned that it sounds maybe cliche, but we can make a change. And even though there are so high numbers, there are a lot of chickens, and the chicken industry have a lot of money, and they are everywhere, and we can still change we could still change the numbers, and we will continue to work on that and see how it will be at the end of the year. And actually, just before getting into this talk, we got the most recent numbers from the Board of Agriculture that says that this last month, 1% less chicken were killed now than the year before. So that is very relieving to hear, and it shows that we are on the right track, and we will just keep up the work together, and we can make the numbers continue to go down. And who knows, perhaps in, maybe not 10 years, perhaps in 10 years, this will be the only ad that we see in the metro station, and not the other option. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this great presentation. Are there any questions?
I have a question about this TV commercial and the ads in the newspapers. Because to be honest, in my country at least, I've never ever seen a TV commercials about animals suffering. And I'm just curious how many TV stations said no to you, or was it a struggle to convince them to show something like this? Because I know there is a risk that they will, for example, lose viewers because of that.
We went to one TV channel and they accepted it. And they were maybe a bit anxious about what kind of material we're going to show, but we just made the video and they accepted it, maybe because we didn't show the worst suffering. But yeah, we were very excited that we got this material out.
Yeah, because I imagine that not every TV station is willing to show something like this, especially if you're showing something brutal, I guess.
Yeah, probably. So it's I suppose it could be very different what kind of material, how you present it, and of course in different countries it might be different.
All right, thank you. So that's it for me.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
I got one, but I'm pretty loud. So first of all, thank you. So first of all, thank you for this. I think it's incredible what you guys have done. And I was curious how you guys made the initial decision to target the industry association and not just going straight for companies.
You mean in general in the... So we target the industry in this public awareness campaign because we have to... they are the bad guys doing this. And we are doing a corporate outreach around the chicken broiler topic parallel to this with the dialogues and doing that kind of stuff as well. And since the chicken industry companies, they don't want to have the dialogue with us, then we have to demand in public that they are not listening and make sure they understand this. So it's been doing parallel work. Thank you.
Thank you for the talk. And I would like to ask, related to the broiler chickens, how did they work? To work with corporates work actually? Did the corporates stop selling chickens, or did they buy the chickens from another farms or industries?
Yes. So the thing about the corporate outreach is that they can commit to this European chicken commitment that has certain criteria. So the companies say that we commit to these criteria that we won't buy the chicken meat and where the chickens are being growing fast and it's not as crowded, and it's a lot of different welfare criteria that the corporates, the companies can sign that they will live up to, and then they have different deadlines from when they are going to have to do this transition. Is that answering your question?
Hi, thank you. And it might have been on that view of the export import.
Do you want me to show
Yes,
that again?
please. Can you? Because it's wonderful with those 6.4 million less chickens. That's it's so good. But I just didn't call. How about the export? The export fell too. Yeah.
Yes, the export is the green line, and the import is the
Okay. Yeah.
So the import increased as well as the export.
Yes. So my question was actually the 6.4 million fewer chickens. Is that the production of them or the?
No, that's the consumption. So
That's the consumption in Sweden. Or,
yes, so this is the Swedish consumption.
And that is great, but
Yes.
did the chickens, were they still produced the 6.4 and then
Yes,
just
so-
exported, or?
Yes, that can be the case. So, and all the chickens consumed in Sweden are Swedish chickens. So that's not why it's not perfectly adds up that they are killing 99 million chickens in Sweden, and if they eat less chicken then that number will go down because it's import, export, and such. But since we have been trying to change the consumption, that's what we realized with the goal setting. That after all, we were realizing that it is the consumption we are trying to affect, and also the Swedish production. But it's since people aren't only consuming Swedish chicken, that's why it's not 6.4 million chickens specifically only in Sweden being born, but somewhere in the world.
Absolutely, it's a great thing you have achieved, I think, because it changes people's ethics, I guess, for some. So it was not to put the achievement down, it was just to understand if the chickens were still existing.
It's a good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions?
I wonder, are you 100% sure that this reduction in consumption is the direct result of your efforts?
No,
Could it be that people switch to other types of meats?
No, the meat consumption in general is going down in Sweden. Then of course, since we have been doing a lot of different activities and we can't measure and meet all the people seeing our activities and then see what they buy in the store, it's not 100% for each and every activity that is affected, this number. But in general, the meat consumption has been going down. And as you see, the year before, it leveled out. And then the year after, we did this, like our biggest campaign ever, the whole year, for this year in about broiler chickens. And then we can see the result that it has been going down. So we are sure that we have affected it in some way.
If there are no more questions, then thank you again for your presentation and congratulations on this campaign, really great, and thank you for coming.